Hey, welcome back, Knife Nerds and Everyday Care people. It's your boy, the Big Canucker here, and I do gotta apologize. Been away for a little bit. Um, it's tough when you've got house guests in your home and your office is now turned into a bedroom and you have no access to it. This is the first time that I have been alone in my home for, I guess, almost a month now, and it's driving me crazy. But what can you do, right? When you got kids, you got kids. All right, so now I do apologize for I should try to get some more videos here, and you know what? I think I'm going to try my hardest. Now, today what I've got here is something that's just a recent pickup, and it's more to keep myself sane. In my job, I was a sales rep, and I would travel from shop to shop to shop and see if they needed something, and I was out and about quite a bit. And I'm hoping to get back to my life once this whole thing is over and done with the surgery with my feet and perhaps amputation, all that kind of stuff. I still hope to get back to my life. And when I do, I have lots of times where I'm parked at lunchtime, way out in the middle of some absolutely beautiful country and lots of trees and wood around. And I've got a little hobby, and that is actually doing a little bit of whittling. And that's what I kind of want to talk about here today. It is actually um, what you would call a Flexcut right-handed carving jack. Now I'm going to be running a couple of cameras here for the first time, and let's hopefully I can get this call kind of edited. I have a camera here down low on my stuff, and I've got this camera on me. So let's just see what I can do. All right. So she's the Flexcut. Now, the Flexcut carving jack is, for all you out there who are woodworkers, people who are whittlers and stuff like that, Flexcut is, I think, the name in carving. I ended up picking this up here. It's pre-owned, and because you know what, it's actually quite an expensive little knife. If I'm not mistaken, you're running somewhere around kind of low 200s, 220 or stuff like that. You might be able to get it on sale for 199 bucks or something like that. And so far, this has been just a fantastic little tool, especially if you're out and about. And I'm taking this and I have it on a flex cut on a little leather belt pouch, which I'm not going to really put on my pouch. I'm just kind of keep it in my everyday carry bag along with this. And the other thing I keep in there is the flex cut strop, because the one thing about flex cut is they do not recommend that you use your sharpening surfaces a lot on any sort of stones. They come absolutely razor sharp from the factory, and so after you use them, they prefer that you just strop them to keep them sharp, and you will never have to put these on a stone if you've got your little strop here, and you can see here, it's got all sorts of different um, edges and stuff like that too as well. So on the bottom, you've got a strap. Now, normally you've got a Flex Cut Gold that comes with this. Now, like I said, because it's pre-owned, I don't have the Flex Cut Gold. I'm actually using just a green rouge that I got from Stropman Strops, and so far it's worked very, very, very well. So yeah, like I said, so you've got the regular strap at the bottom for your straight knives. You've got some indentations here, so for some of your gouges. And if you want to strop the interior of your gouges, you've got all sorts of different shapes and sizes too as well. And then you've got here for your kind of your spoon knife. Now, this is not the only multiple strop that this company has. There's all sorts of different strops too, where the entire bottom is a leather stropping surface. You've also got ones where there's quite a bit of deep grooves in here, so it's not the only one. Now, as you can see here, I ended up carving myself a little bit of a wizard here. And I actually got this little pattern from Doug Linker. He's a absolutely he's a great teacher and a great master. So if you're looking to learn how to whittle, that's one of the guys. And he's also a fellow Canadian too as well. You can see here that I knocked off a little bit of his hat brow with a little slip. That's all it takes. But this is my kind of my little wood gnome, wood wizard. And hey, it's a start. So let's go over the knife here. Now, the you've got 6 tools, and the kind of the most important one here is just your straight bladed knife. Now, what do they call that? They call that, oops, detail knife is what they call it. And I will kind of put it down here, detail knife, and you can see that it comes from the factory, absolutely razor sharp. It's got a mirror polished edge on it, and all it takes is after you use it, just a couple of strokes, maybe 10 aside, 6 aside, and it stays, wow, wicked sharp, shaving sharp. And you know what, as you'll notice here, I'm actually supporting Movember, so I've decided not to shave the old porn stash and the chin. And oh my goodness, there's so much more white in here that I remember. And my wife is also doing Movember too as well, but she is not. It's not that she's not shaving her mustache. We'll put it that way. And we might have a little bit of a dueling hairy areas, which is okay with me. I'm glad she doesn't watch this because she would kick me in the junk. Okay, so you've got your detail knife here. It's hard. This is the first time that I'm actually using a secondary camera, and I'm afraid that if I can't get the editing right, because I'm not a master editor, that I will like lose this whole video that I've shot. But well, we'll try to keep it. I'll do up and I'll do down too as well. Okay. All right. So detail knife, detail knife. And on the back, you've actually got a really, really nice lock, which is there is a less expensive version of this made by, I'm sorry, it escapes me. Very, very similar, but does not have the lock. And you know what? And I have that one too as well. And I will down the road be doing a comparison once I get more familiar with this one. But so far, this has been fantastic. So you've got a detail knife. Um, You've got a angled, I guess it's called a scorp gouge, as a lot of people call that. And then, of course, you've got a straight chisel too as well. And all of them come with the ability to lock on with a lock on the back, so you're not worried about cutting yourself, or because you can see it locks in, as you can see here. It's a fairly robust lock, and it's just a matter of just kind of a back lock. You press that and close it up. Now on the other side, you've got another kind of angled gouge. What do they call that? Yeah, a gouge scorp. You've got a hook knife, which is for making the spoons, and then of course you've got what do they call this now? A gouge scorp. So you've got 6 implements on this. Now the weight is it's not very heavy. I mean, it's probably I don't my 3.5 ounces. So it's fairly lightweight. It's 4.25 inch long, closed. And your main detail blade, I do believe, is like 1.75 inches, which is it's kind of small, but when you're talking about whittling, you never really worry about too much having kind of a great big monster knife. Most of the whittling is done with these fine blades, and I have to say that this is extremely comfortable in my hand. The only knock that I've found on it so far is when I'm closing it up and I'm pressing on the set of knives here with my hand, with my finger as I'm locking it. These tools click down in the tool, and then the lock stays depressed, and the tools go below the actual plane here. So they actually go down a little bit too much when you're pressing that lock. There, you can see now. So now they've gone below, and the lock stays open. And it's really, really hard to get them out once that's happened. Um, so I end up having to take my multi-tool, get in there, pop it up. That so far has been the only knock that I can say on this knife. Other than that, it has done an incredible job whittling my little gnome. And I've got a spoon carving set with a straight scorp, I guess, or detail knife, a little bit bigger. It also comes with a hook, and it also comes with a very, very fine detail knife, the three of them for spoon carving. And that's great for when I'm sitting at home or I'm at my desk and I want to do some whittling. But if you're out on the road and you want to do some whittling away from home, keep this. This is an incredible tool. Now, the steel on it itself is a high carbon steel. I don't know what steel it actually is, but they say it's a high carbon steel. So it will rust. So you need to keep it, oiled up if you're in that kind of environment. But on the other hand, in about a 58 to 60 rock well, so it will hold an edge very well. Now, if you're carving on, basswood and stuff like that, you're not going to need to ever, I believe, put this through a set of stones. You should be able to keep this razor sharp with strops the entire time that you own this knife. Now, the other thing they say as well is if you happen to say drop your knife and it's open and you put a chip in one of the blades, you put a bad roll, they suggest that you get a power strop, which is a round leather strop, and use that to strop it out. It may take some time, but I guess, it's kind of the way that they want you to do it. I guess unless you're kind of maybe an absolute master at sharpening on the stones, you might be able to get away with it that way. But I found that so far the angle on everything, the sharpness on everything, the ergonomics on this has been wonderful. It's been very, very comfortable in the hand, even though the edges are a little bit, they're just a little bit straight. I mean, it's kind of a 90-degree. They're not rounded edges by any stretch of the imagination, but they're not really uncomfortable where they're cutting into my hand. I suppose the only knock that I would give it is the fact that the main blade, which I should have had out here without, I should have had the main blade out before I did my little demonstration where yeah, there we go. Now it's coming out. Here we go. Let me close this up, get the main blade out. Okay, so the thinness of this main blade is the only thing that I would perhaps change, or not change, but you just need to get something on your thumb. Now, the gentleman that I happened to purchase this from sent me some tape, and it's actually like a bandage tape. So, so what is really, really nice about this kind of bandage tape is you can take it and you can wrap it around your thumb or your fingers, and it allows you to press when you're whittling, and you're not going to get, because I know after I carved this, I noticed that I was getting a tiny bit of a blister on my thumb. And you know what? I'm not a big giant pussy, but I haven't been working too damn hard with these hands over the last little bit. So this tape here, and it's like a bandage tape that it's like a tensor bandage type tape that you'll just wrap around your fingers, and it just allows you to, if you're having a good old whittling session, allows you to press in there without getting a blister on your thumb. A lot of people wear gloves too as well. When I'm at home, I've got some cut-proof gloves that I love wearing. I have my full glove on this side, and I wear gloves on this side, but I've cut all the fingers off it, and it just allows me to have a little bit more dexterity with touching. Sometimes you need to feel what you're whittling, to get a little bit of a sensation, because your fingers can feel quite a bit change in difference. So now, would I recommend this? So far, absolutely. If you're a whittler or if you're thinking about whittling, Flexcut is the name of the game. And so far, this has been a wonderful little tool. And I will compare it against the less expensive competition down the road. And I've had that one for a lot of times too as well. But I do want to kind of get a way better feeling for this one before I kind of do a comparison. But so far, I'm very, very impressed with how ergonomic this is. I'm very impressed with the edge holding ability. I'm impressed with the amount of tools too as well, and the fact that the actual blades themselves, they don't have very much give. There's no side to side on here whatsoever. There's a little bit of give back and forth this way, but as far as the blades themselves bending and feeling cheap, definitely not. Definitely not. This is a very well put together tool, and it's also got a really, really nice sheath that goes along with it. And this is a big bonus too as well because it'll keep it sharp for years and years and years to come. So thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up as well as a subscription. You don't know how much it brings me joy to know that I'm helping you guys out there and answering some questions, and and having you guys stop by and have a visit of my life every once in a while is so important. So please stay safe out there. We're not out of the woods. Keep your shiny side up. Your stick on the ice. This is the Big Canucker saying adios.